What is up, Whale family? This is Nytmare bringing you Hang Time, where we talk NBA Top Shot, the market, fantasy basketball, and all things hoops and hype. Thank you to all the fans advocating for my voice over DC's. If you didn't know, that's just a given, even without hearing him. But that being said, my Korean chicken was good for lunch. I do see you guys' questions, and we're paying attention to the chat as we go through Hang Time. Appreciate everyone sticking with us every week for cool stuff. And just to get this out of the way early, because last week, we had a little bit of a mishap with the form and ended up having the questions, people's names, and all kinds of madness. We will be doing another giveaway of a fresh pack rip of NBA Top Shot today. So if you are a roll holder, if you are a dolphin or a shark or a whale, here is the form. It's in the stream text chat. You guys can go ahead and fill that out and be eligible for the pack drop. We will spin the wheel at the end of the show and give away some moments. Last time, Joe Boo came through for us, actually, and I think we landed a John Morant and some really cool stuff. So hopefully he comes through once again and you guys score some awesome stuff. So that being said, let's go ahead and dig into what's been going on in the NBA and with basketball, the Olympics, and Top Shot. So the NBA draft obviously was the big event over the past week. I really don't have a lot of context for this. I didn't watch a lot of college basketball over the past year, but I did see our boy Humble the Poet actually come through and say that the Raptors just caught everyone with surprise with their pick of Scotty Barnes at number 4. So interesting to see how that's going to play out in particular. And I don't think I actually saw, there was the giveaway where they brought people down to the draft. I didn't catch any of the highlights of that, but NBA Top Shot continuing to have that cool utility where it's giving unique fan experiences for participating and being part of their ecosystem. And so the other big news, obviously, from draft night, Russell Westbrook going to the Lakers, kind of the antithesis of what we've been talking about in that, homegrown teams really having success over this past year. And some would argue that it was a unique year because of injuries and the short turnaround time and whatnot. But obviously a super team with Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Westbrook all together. I really can't wrap my head around that dynamic and how it will work. That's a lot of personality on one team in Los Angeles. But we will see. If anyone can put it together, it's LeBron. As much as I'm not a LeBron fan, over the years, I do respect his game and his leadership that he's come to acquire over the years with a lot of his wisdom and different situations. So beyond that, Team USA finally getting themselves into gear and handling business against Iran and the Czech Republic. My boy Jason Tatum from the Celtics doing work, dropping 27 points. And Kevin Durant actually set the scoring record for the most points in Olympic history by anyone on Team USA. So props to him. They actually play Spain on Tuesday. It's 12:40 a.m. So it's not far from now, right? It's like wee hours in the morning for those of us in Eastern time. But if they advance, actually, no, this is the knockout stage, right? Yeah, so they're in the knockout stage. And if they advance beyond this, then they have to face one of the division leaders that came out on top of the prior rounds. So they should handle business against Spain, but we'll see. Team USA is still working through a lot of the kinks with their team chemistry and whatnot. So relative to Top Shot and the actual market, kind of interesting numbers. We talked about having breached those dollar volume lows last week. And, we have some spikes here and some up and down. So it looks like the sales volume's actually fluctuating based on some different things. It's good to see it's not continuing to be suppressed below that $500,000 mark. You can see here, we were below the 500,000, and that was a local low for the past 3 months or so. And then, we came back up to nearly $1 million here. So after another drop, another spike up, now we're back down. That may continue and it may be choppy. I don't really know, what was the specific driver here. The transaction volume has slowed down, and we've seen from these peaks here where people trying to accumulate, I would assume, moments to qualify for some of the drops. Now there isn't really a catalyst to do that, so transactions are down, although I'm sure the Russell Westbrook trade influenced at least his moment and having some volume going on with his I think I'd seen some analysis, his series 2 moment went from maybe 150 transactions to maybe 400 sales, right? So, there's minor spikes of that nature, but no major catalyst at the moment that Top Shot is driving for qualifiers and things like that. Maybe when they go for Run It Back, which I believe is one of the drops that they're aiming for this summer during the off season, maybe that will get some of the dollar volume to spike up again as well. And so with that being said, the whale vault actually had a slight rebound. We were at that $26 million mark last time we took a peek at it. It's bounced up nearer to 27 million now, but still within the same range, right? Those are minor things that could cause that kind of deviation, especially with the low liquidity and the very limited and rare moments that we're talking about. But good sign that we haven't continued to drop down lower and that we're kind of hovering at this value. Now, relative to the market itself, we talked about this last week, and in fact, I had been keeping a spreadsheet myself, as I had talked to you guys about moments that I had my eyes on, possibly opportunistic buys when the conditions were right. And relative to that spreadsheet, a lot of those moments I have my eyes on are now a 40 to 60% value versus what their local high was over the past 2 to 3 months, meaning not during the run up when there was that huge exuberance in the spring and prices were, astronomical, $500 for just a base moment. I'm talking over, May, June, July, when things had leveled off some, and you had seen that when there was interest, there was some significant value. But other than that, the floor continued to go down on some of these. But, I'm finding some that are 70% value to those local highs of players that I think have some longevity. For example, I mentioned this last week. There's a Jokic that's now $61 that during this local high was near 200, right? So you have to look at other factors that are important to you, whether that's where the serial lands, if you want high or low serials, or you don't care, you just want to get one of a single moment. But certainly, some deals to be had. There was actually a conversation in general. Someone had come in and asked for some insight relative to Top Shot, and they were new to the whale community. I think the Ninja Turtles popped in and had some context and insight for him, but also had asked about, the pricing right now. And I said something to the effect that we may have more drawdown through the summer here. There's going to be a lull during this off season, but to me personally, I think there's still good value on some of these moments to be hunting. And I'd rather get in at a comfortable value than miss a bounce, especially right now with the NFT market heating up, right? I'm sure you guys are hearing and seeing and getting offers on your OpenSea portfolio. So with the market heating up and some various things, I'm starting to take a look at, and I think I'm going to be making some purchases this week, to be honest with you, on some of those Series 1 moments that I've been looking for. So what else is going on in Top Shot? Not a lot. Here's an example of that Jokic that I was talking about, right? So here's the last 3 months. And, there's always going to be outliers. Even right now, recently, this Serial 4 went for almost $500. But the floor here is 300, 200, it had some bounces relative to 200, 120. Now it's kind of hovering around 50 something dollars, right? So if I see that kind of value, obviously Jokic, I think, has longevity and could throw up some more MVP numbers, maybe a championship, scoring title, a lot of different things that could happen. I think that's a value for me. But what else happened in Top Shot? Well, on Thursday, the legendary packs dropped. And I don't know anyone from our swath of participants in our community that actually landed a pack. So it was very rare, very scarce. And then on Friday, the final playoff pack dropped. So 40,000 packs. I literally forgot about it. I think I had seen some notifications and didn't even participate. So I don't know if that's a similar vein to what other people are feeling, but I think a lot of us were kind of ready to move on from this playoff series and on to other new things and new announcements from Top Shot on what's to come. So I'm sure they have some stuff in the pipeline with regards to marketing to try to drum up interest during the off season. We really don't have details on that. We don't know what's going to be happening. One thing I found interesting is they did talk leading up to the Olympics about possible gamification and tie-in, and then they walked that back over the past week or so and said they wouldn't be doing that. So I don't know if that's a licensing thing or they couldn't get, authorization from whoever would be that be able to do that, but that is no longer in play. So we do have a few challenges going on. They have the NBA playoffs common challenge. If you scoop 9 of the moments from the Bucks, I believe, then you can get this cool Giannis where he's holding up the trophy. They have the legendary challenge. You can grab a CP3 and metallic gold LE, 9 moments for a Dame. So, the challenges are continuing as well. I'll be interested to see what they're going to do once these actually run out. And what do we know is actually coming? Not a lot, right? Not a lot of clarification yet. They did allude to the run it back sets happening over the summer, so we know that's going to be happening. They did allude to some possible rookie sets, and I don't know if that's rookies that had just passed or rookies that are coming into the league. We'll see what exactly happens with that, but more to come on what is next for Top Shot. And then I did want to mention the Whale DAO Pass. Congratulations, everybody. Awesome work on clarifying that and working Justin so he could help get something that was very streamlined. It passed with overwhelming support. So, it was well supported by the DAO Senate. I think now next steps is the infrastructure. So that was the hard part, getting that to pass. I think the next part is figuring out the logistics of exactly how the custodianship is going to work, who's going to take control, and things of that nature. So I think this is worth a discussion during whale hour or office hours if one of the sponsors is actually there on Thursday when Whale Shark will be there, and just get his thoughts on the way forward, and then maybe coordinating with Justin as well, and he can coordinate with us and the rest of the team and see what makes the most sense from a security perspective, and just being able to make timely reactions to things, because sometimes obviously Whale Shark is busy with his other endeavors and doing things for Whale in the background, which keep him very, very busy, by the way. The guy works ungodly hours. I don't know how he does it. But in general, wanted to talk on some other things with the market in general. So, we alluded to the heating up of the NFT market. Everyone's talking about this. Punks has been a big driver of it, being that it's one of the largest dollar value NFTs that's in high circulation. It's a badge of, it's a big flex for people to scoop a punk right now. And so there's been a lot of action with punks from investment capital firms scooping up the floor in recent days, and even a lot of celebrities and athletes, popping their head out saying, I need a punk, everybody from rappers to athletes and whatnot. And so I threw this one up here because Tommy Wilson, he's a friend of Whale, and we've actually featured him on Whale FM. Minor league pitcher, pro athlete, one of the first pro athletes actually to do his own NFT. One of, right? Because I think the very first was Chris Cyborg, right? I think she dropped one like a year prior to anyone else. She was kind of ahead of the curve, which I really don't know the story on that. I'd be interested to find out. But if you're not familiar with Cyborg, she was basically the female Wanderlei Silva, like unbelievable MMA athlete. Juiced or not, I'm not sure, but unbelievable to watch. So, but anyway, he is one of the first athletes to drop an NFT. Even he's in here making mention, like the rest of the NFT community. Gary V scooped one, like you guys are mentioning. So, there's a lot of momentum that's happening right now relative to this. And there's a lot of drivers, right? Like the market, as far as cryptocurrency goes, had experienced a significant drop. And during that drop, Axes actually showed a lot of resilience there on Binance. And I think that really built a story for a lot of people that the gaming play to earn economy is a real strength. And that's a byproduct of a lot of things, right? With what they do with regards to scholarships and providing opportunities for people. But the point is that ecosystem is a monster. It encompasses NFTs. It made a lot of the people that are just involved in speculative investments and in cryptocurrency really take notice to NFTs beyond what they had before. And this is just my opinion. But in my opinion, a lot of people looked at it as a possible moonshot, right? Like you could possibly scoop these and be able to, at one point have something that would be a big play. I think the surge of things like YGG dropping and the interest level from venture capitalists there, it just shows that NFT exposure via proxy tokens is not the only thing people are looking at anymore. I think that's widened now to people really wanting direct portfolio allocation to NFTs because they've seen this sustained strength. I think coming out of the exuberance in the spring, there was a concern that this was a bubble and it will fall out. This is just a temporary trend. And I think the gaming assets and the play to earn gaming economy really carried us over the finish line here. I don't want to say finish line, carried us over the next hurdle and gave some legitimacy to these people that are just investing because they saw that this actually has strength and potential beyond what they're seeing right now. Like this is not the peak. This is not reached its full runway and what would I call it? It has not reached its potential. It has not reached its ability. It does not have the market penetration. That's what I was trying to say. It has very shallow market penetration right now, meaning when more people have exposure to this could exponentially grow. Now, obviously, gaming is a huge Trojan horse for that to happen. So long story short, more of these people said, hey, I want actual NFTs. Forget the tokens. I literally want Axes. What can I get access to easily? So, what's high visibility? Punks. Xcopy, which I love, by the way. I'm a huge Xcopy fan. I'm a huge sucker for glitch art, so he's the king, obviously. Art blocks blowing up, right? Even generative art that are like derivatives in theory of things like this, like pixel glyphs going nuts, right? Bored Ape Yacht Club, sure. And that's a hedge on a community, which, we could talk about the nuances of that as well. But the point is people want a direct involvement. Our own analytical team lead, Ikaitsa, just, I think, scooped six Bored Apes, right? So he was like, let me add this to my portfolio. This is a smart bet. So people are trying to make direct portfolio divestment by getting into the actual NFT assets. And that has an interesting effect in that these people are coming in looking at it from a crypto approach sometimes with supply spread and liquidity. They're talking about things like raising the floor, right? We've all heard that. But now they're talking about the sell walls that they're trying to breach, right? I just heard earlier today when people were talking about pixel glyphs saying that, hey, there's a wall at 0.1. If we can break that, then who knows, there's no resistance. So this methodology is merging with what the traditional NFT landscape is, and the doors are unlocked. So we could be on the precipice of another major move, right? Maybe not, but I think the signs point to further stability at the least in NFTs. And with that, I am trying to scoop up some NBA Top Shot moments while I have an opportunity here, because though it may draw down a little bit more, I don't want the bounce to go before I'm in. So I'll be making some, seeing when I can scoop. And I'll be giving some away at the end of this stream, so you guys hopefully can land something cool as well that you'll be able to use. And while we're talking about what's going on with the market and we're heading into this off season for basketball, I did just want to mention two things. So we talked about Chris Cyborg, right? UFC, when is that coming? To be quite honest with you, we don't know. And we have an inroad here with Rude Moose, our own, who works for Dapper and community for NBA Top Shot. But we still don't know. Where is the NFL? We are on the precipice of the NFL season. We still don't have word on what their NFT deliverables will be. You know that they're going to be making a play. I'm really surprised that they haven't done that. Ecomi and VV have the license for the NFL, which Sprinkles has clarified that's actually the NFL Players Association. So that being said, what platform is going to come forward with the actual league NFTs? All right, guys, I'm going to go for a second time here because DC is still up to his antics. I just heard the stream go live on Discord. DC, what are you doing, man? You are absolutely out of control. All right. So supposedly it's working now. Maybe DC took an AFK and things will work. All right. But we were talking about the NFL. Obviously, Ecomi and VV have the license. Sprinkles clarified this is for the NFL Players Association and not for the league-wide NFTs themselves. Where are those NFTs? Obviously, being so close to the start of the season, everyone's clamoring for the opportunity to, get involved and get in early. I'm really surprised that they're not marketing this to us yet. That being said, would we want it to be on a platform like Dapper and like NBA Top Shot? That was something that I was mulling over when I was looking at where is the NFL in this process right now. Obviously, Dapper has an amazing platform. They've done amazing things for the growth. But, there have been times during the course of the past, 6 months or so where we've had issues with the platform itself, with some of the decision making. And would it behoove us to have something that wouldn't toe the same line? Meaning, if there are particular issues with supply, with methodology, if it would be different, and so you're not susceptible to the decision making of one organization. It's just an interesting conversation to have, quite honestly. I think personally, the NFL has seen a proof of concept from Dapper, and I don't have confirmation on that, but what I had seen with the Raiders draft packs that were put out there, unless someone's amazingly talented and can make something literally lockstep and barrel with all of the assets that Dapper has for NBA Top Shot, I would assume that's part of a proof of concept or something that they had. So I'm sure they have a bunch of them at the NFL. I'll be eager to see if they surprise us and come out with something right before the season starts. That would be very cool. And I also mentioned the UFC, and I think I did this prior, but just in case that got cut off, I was interested in when that's going to drop. We don't have word on that yet, although we do know it is in beta. And I think personally, the UFC moments will be more susceptible to performance, obviously not tied to a team, just an individual's night, whether they get knocked out or have an amazing submission or performance could have an extreme effect on the valuation of their moments. So that will be cool to see what happens with that. And then I also just wanted to mention that Moneyball, I believe, came through and showed us this Rumble Kong League. I have not done my due diligence with regards to Rumble Kong League, but it sounded relatively cool. 10,000 generative profile pic type avatars. You have stats and attributes that you can use to play 3-on-3 basketball. It sounds bananas. No pun intended. So we will take a look at that and see whether or not that warrants a little more participation, but something different that the community came forward with. So I wanted to just talk about it real quick. Some people in the chat were mentioning their experiences with VV and whether or not it was good or bad. I gave it a shot once. I found it a little bit insular and a little bit frustrating, but it was some time ago, and it was to get a kind of a collectible off of a well-known IP. So that might be leveraged a little bit differently for something like sports moments or sports cards, however they try to do it. So we will see what exactly comes of that. And with that, guys, we are going to do our giveaway of the pack, a fresh pack rip of Series 2 Commons. Let's see who has signed up, if the form actually worked this time. And it did. So I am going to load these names into the wheel. We'll go over here for a fresh spin. And let me see some Joe Boos in the chat so I know you guys are ready and you are sending good mojo to everyone that is about to win. I'm not spinning until I see the Joe Boo, guys. There we go. Radke came through. Unbelievable. D-Prick with the second week win. Get the first pull from the pack. Let's go ahead and just pull that one. Let me remove your name. You are definitely in Joe Boo's good graces, my friend. We're going to go left to right. Nice. And Embiid. Congratulations, Steve Prick. Back to the wheel. Ninja Turtles in the house. Okay. I don't know if you're a Ty Jerome fan or you just got a ticket towards your Series 1 packs. Next up. Nat. Nice. Nat, congratulations on a D book. Very cool. So guys, if you won and I don't have your Top Shot account or it's not obvious, please shoot me a DM just to confirm, and I am whitelisted so I can send you these moments right away today. You can do with them what you want, and props to NBA Top Shot for hooking us up with some giveaway packs for you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to continue that. And if you guys were involved in the streams over the past week that just went by prior, you know that we gave away a ton of NFTs. We had a lot of giveaways on our streams over the past week. Hopefully we can continue to leverage our cool partnerships and get cool stuff for you guys. I know I'm working on some new stuff to get you guys cool stuff. So stay involved, lots of opportunities to score good stuff. And thank you for all the information sharing. You guys have been doing a great job helping each other and bringing opportunities to the notice of the entire group. With that, I will talk to you guys next week. Have a great day. You can hit me up in the chat, and don't forget, keep your eye on these moments. It looks like there's going to be lots of opportunities and lots of deals to come. Talk to you guys soon.